Anthony Davis reveals about his training schedule. Some clubs have had terrific off-seasons, but the Los Angeles Lakers and Brooklyn Nets are not among them. There is still time before the season begins, and their supporters will be hoping for some improvements. Both clubs are dealing with very identical issues. But today, we'll look at how fans have criticized Anthony Davis over the offseason and how that has influenced AD's training, along with what more does Anthony tell about his training. In order to prepare for the upcoming season, Anthony Davis has increased his training in the offseason after receiving harsh criticism from the fans. Since making those earlier comments, which were met with a lot of criticism from concerned Laker fans, AD, according to the Lakers Nation, has been working harder in practice and has upped his diligence. Since everyone is aware of AD's incredible talent when healthy, this will undoubtedly allow Lakers supporters to exhale a little easier. But alas, that doesn't happen very often. Davis is attempting to correct the wrongs and plans to enjoy one season free of injury struggles. The preparation for all of this begins now in the off-season. The fact that he has been working out a lot is wonderful news for everyone connected to the Los Angeles Lakers, since the 29-year-old, who is unquestionably at the top of his game, carries a lot of responsibility for the team. Of course, some would counter that being fit rather than having a broken body would be at your prime. If nothing else, AD can help the Lakers reach the playoffs, as he's undoubtedly one of the finest players in the game. And the Lakers supporters deserve praise. Not often do you hear that criticism posted on social media become an inspiration for someone to do better. But that is exactly what happened in this case. After receiving some unexpected criticism from his supporters who were shocked to learn that he hadn't shot a basketball since early April, according to Mark Stein, AD accelerated his recuperation. Since the Lakers are by far the worst team at shooting from distance, it would certainly upset us too if our best player at the moment had been practicing in the off-season. France joined in on the surprised reaction when AD revealed that he hadn't shot a basketball since likely April 5th. This caused a barrage of critical comments on Instagram and Twitter from fans who didn't hold back because they were already concerned about the future of their team, and didn't want to learn that AD was also taking a long break from the sport. Of course, if you take a realistic view of the situation, it's possible that Darvin's Ham's remarks had the desired impact on AD's ramp-up during training. Although, we'd like to claim that it was a combination of both. Davis continues to be the key to the Lakers' success, according to the new head coach of the team, Ham, who said that he needs him to be reliable and healthy. When he learned that Davis hadn't fired a ball since April, we are certain he wouldn't be in a good mood. What can we anticipate from AD then? This is by far the most difficult issue to answer because no one knows how long he will stay healthy this season before suffering an injury that will force him to miss a significant amount of the year. Even AD is unlikely to have an answer. Even though he only participated in about 40 games during the 21-22 season, he averaged 23.2 points and over 10 rebounds per game while shooting well over 50% from the field. His skill has never been in question, so it shouldn't come as a surprise that the Lakers won a championship the season he managed to stay healthy. The last two seasons have been bad for AD, but some fans might be worried that winning the ring might have lessened his desire to play again. We would like to think that AD doesn't feel that way. Even if he does, it's crucial that he continues to put in the effort to gain a head start after the kind of seasons he's had, because a teammate like LeBron wouldn't allow you to be that unambitious. He has consistently produced healthy figures over the past 2 years, as we've already indicated. So we can anticipate tremendous things, but this season's main issue will be keeping him in shape in order to achieve those numbers. It's about time the Lakers begin to believe they can rely on AD to get them through games and put on incredible performances instead of having to depend on a 37-year-old LeBron James. Additionally, the Lakers' recruitment has been horrible, so they can't really expect Westbrook to help out all that much. He may be wanting to move him this season, but he may be the difference between success and failure for AD. P.S. He'll need to do his part too. Yes, according to recent speculations, the Lakers management hasn't been very impressed with AD lately. They reportedly thought he would have assumed charge by now, but it's obvious that hasn't happened. And if this season's events don't go as planned, there's a good probability that AD will leave Los Angeles. Can you blame them? After all, the team went all out and spent a lot of money on players to acquire the big man, but it hasn't yielded the results they had hoped for so far. Yes, they won a championship and that's good as it gets, but it's clear that Lakers could have done more. As of right now, the Lakers are reportedly open to trading him in certain situations, so it wouldn't be shocking if these reports are accurate. Consequently, AD's performance in the forthcoming season will either make or break him. He'll have to show his credentials, he'll have to lead the group and distribute Bron's duty. If he accomplishes everything, he will have earned the right to remain. It would be the ideal method to silence the critics, but it's much easier said than done. We'll have to wait and see if he has the resources to serve as the Lakers' focal point and whether they can assemble a squad around him. The Lakers first established a trade desk. 80. As if this offseason wasn't dramatic enough, it appears that the Lakers are now considering trading Anthony Davis, and the likelihood that 80 will leave the team may increase if the Lakers are unable to reach an agreement with LeBron to extend his contract. This suggests that LeBron and 80 will likely remain for the season, but a huge shakeup in LA might occur next summer. There are undoubtedly people in the organization that would not object to 80 being dealt, which is rather intriguing to say, the least given that two of their top talents may go in the same window. It was certainly one of the Lakers' inalienable parts, but the past 2 years have altered how the team is viewed by the franchise. Additionally, the Lakers would like to get ahead of AD and deal him before he demands one, which would lower his value. This has suddenly become much more intriguing. Could this imply that this year as well as enticing offer for AD results in a swap? Lakers are also interested in Cam Reddish next. Cam Reddish is still waiting for his career to take off, but for some reason, he can't seem to shake his ties to the Lakers. There were high expectations for him to become the next big thing when he joined Duke as a top prospect, but he hasn't quite lived up to the hype. His NBA career has been, to put it mildly, unimpressive, but the Lakers might give him an opportunity to relaunch it in Los Angeles. Reddish nearly joined the team last season when he took part in 3 dream negotiations between the Knicks, Lakers, and Raptors. But their intrigue in the Knicks forward dates back to when he was a Hawk. Rumor has it that the Lakers haven't given up on Reddish and believe they still have a chance to demonstrate his ability. They might still try to snag the 22-year-old. There has finally been some hope for the Lakers this offseason regarding LeBron's deal. Following their meeting for extension talks, Rich Paul and LeBron James appear to have had a first round of talks that went rather well and had a positive vibe. Even though a deal is still pending, it has only been a few days since he became eligible for his extension, so it must be taken into account. Lakers supporters shouldn't be concerned about the extension, according to Dave McManaman. He's of the opinion that both parties desire to grow their relationship, and that the existence of this common objective may facilitate the speedy completion of that contract. It is clear that the longer this issue goes unresolved, the more likely it is that LeBron will order the Lakers to trade for Kyrie Irving and transfer Westbrook. As a result, this video has come to an end. Who knows, perhaps the Lakers fans will receive a double surprise. Are you confident that Anthony Davis will fulfill his potential with the Lakers during the upcoming season? Alternatively, he might once more let his supporters down. In a sport where height is a key issue, there will always be ups and downs, but nobody wants to lose. Therefore, let's wish for the best.